Peace, Black family. So today's title is going to be Dear Black Parents, your children are not your friends, okay? Your children are your children. I see too many of our watotos, too many of our children at 13, 14, 15 with cell phones, being able to talk back to their parents as if we some type of Yorugus, like we white people. I remember when a child used to get told, mind your business, right? Now children ask a question and adults be answering them like they got some rights, okay? You need to mind your business. This is not your friend. Some things are meant for adults. I see too many young boys, I'm talking about the youngest age, with tattoos now, pants sagging. They allowed to get goals. Some of them are making their own money, of course, working at grocery stores and things like that. But the parents still have a right over that child to say, you're not bringing that in my house. Are y'all searching y'all children's rooms nowadays? Are y'all going through their stuff? You know what I'm saying? Like, I often think of the white people who be like, I didn't know he was making bombs. Like, what you mean you didn't know he was making bombs? Like, black folk, we got rules. You don't close the door in my house unless I say you can close the door. Have we forgot those rules? That's a part of culture. I see too many young black girls nowadays with long nails, okay, with this long weave and the tote bag. Now they wearing tote bags and they having fanny purses that they carry into high school and middle school. Okay, and some of these young girls are overdeveloped for their age. All these steroids and things like that in the food, they're overdeveloped. And you have these young girls wearing all the things that older women are wearing. Okay, that is not how our culture goes. These young girls need to have Serena Williams and Venus beads in their hair. They are children. They are children. They're not your friend. Stop that. Because when they walk out into the world, and you might find a pervert, a mental African who looks at her and be like, oh, that's a grown woman. That ain't no grown woman. Or sometimes it might happen by mistake. You know what I'm saying? Because again, a lot of these children are eating a whole bunch of steroids in their food, and they musky, and they just grown. They just grown in the body, but not in the mind. And we do know young children will lie by their age. That's one of the things that this culture has provided for African children. The idea about lying about their age so they can seem older. Stop that. These children ain't your friend. They're your children. Treat them like children. Put them in a children place. Take away that cell phone. What they got a cell phone for? Who they talking to? If they need to call you, ask an adult. Ask an adult. Can I call my mama? They shouldn't have no cell phone, because a lot of these children ain't looking at nothing positive on that cell phone. Marcus Garvey said this a long time ago. A long time ago. If the African is not careful, they will choke on European poison and enjoy it. And right now we choking on it. In African culture, when we use the term watoto, it does not necessarily mean children. It can even go for adults who don't have children. This is why we use the term baba, we use the term mama, and we use the term dada. Dada, it doesn't matter how old you are. You could still be a dada if you don't have no children. It's not necessarily about the age. It's about the maturity and the idea of becoming a mother. We don't call you a mother, or we don't call you an elder until you have gave birth to another child. There are hairstyles in African culture that women cannot get unless they are married. There are tribal marks that men cannot get unless they have walked through the rites of passage. Y'all just allowing y'all children to break all those cultural rules. They ain't got to get the beads. They ain't got to wear the big old big braids in their hair. You know what I'm saying? With the puffs. They ain't got to wear Proud Family t-shirts until they 18, 19. They don't got to be children. They can walk around with the what? That's horrible, man. That is horrible. You got me messed up. And if you know a child like this, just saying, well, I'm going to raise my child the right way is not enough anymore. Because our children, we already know our children, all children, but our children specifically, because I care about our children, specifically want to be accepted. Even adults want to be accepted. Even adults, you would be hard pressed to find an adult who can stand up to peer pressure. A lot of our adults are non-confrontational. You know how I know? Because a lot of our adults are anti-pro-black. You talk about anything pro-black, I ain't with that. That's gonna cause problems. I want to fit in. We should love everybody. So even our adults have a hard time, fighting off peer pressure. So what I'm saying is that you should spend enough time raising your child and your child's best friend, because guess what? What your best friend putting in their ear is going to overshadow everything that you're talking about. Acceptance is so much so a part of human nature that you could tell a child, I'll kick you out of my house if you don't listen to my rules. And they'll be like, okay. Because that peer pressure of being accepted and being wanted is so powerful. And then the reality of it is that most of y'all just buying y'all child things anyway. Y'all not giving them that love. And what happens is these children misconstrue that wanting to have affection, that wanting to be appreciated with love. And then they start doing sexual things because they think that's love. Not knowing that they are misconstruing the appreciation and the real love for something sexual. Ooh, when I send this person naked pictures of me, they tell me how much they love me. They tell me how much they appreciate me. And they call me and they text me. And then we have our children doing these disgusting things that are early. Well, not disgusting, but disgusting for their age, because they're not supposed to be doing that, right? We have our children doing these disgusting things at an early age because they are misconstruing the idea of acceptance, appreciation, and real love for something sexual. Because all you're doing is buying that child stuff. You're not having real deep conversations with that child. You're not crying in front of that child. You're not telling that child how much you appreciate that child, how much that child is valuable to the lineage and to the growth of African people. You're not doing that. You're not. You have that child in a prison. And why I say it's a prison? Because you feed that child, you clothe that child, and then you send that child out into the world without any values, interests, principles, or any understanding of what the world yields for that child. That's what they do in the prison. That's what they do in prison. They feed and clothe you, and then when you're done doing your time, they send you back out into the world without nothing, without no tools, without nothing. And that's what the hell we doing out here. That's what we doing. I know. It hurts to hear that. I know people don't want to hear that, but that's the truth. We ain't putting no values, interests, and principles in these children. These children, you can shake their head, sound like a can. King, 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 king. Like, ain't nothing up there but Powerpuff Girls. And I don't even know if they watch Powerpuff Girls anymore. I don't even know the show that children watch anymore. But what I'm saying is, keep a child in a child's place. Respect that child's innocence. Protect that child's innocence. There are things that children should not be exposed to. There are things that children should not be privy to. You know what I'm saying? There are things that I'm just learning about my parents. Good, bad, or indifferent. There are things that I'm learning about my parents that I didn't know. And I should not have known when I was younger. It is rightfully so that they have kept certain things from me as a child, because I was a child. Now, we don't want to keep too many things from our children. It has to be a fine balance of that. It has to be mayat. It has to be balanced. Tell them, show them the world that they're living in. Hey, listen, don't let nobody touch your private parts. Don't let nobody play with you. There's people out here that do that. Like, you have to have that fine balance of that. But we ain't even talking to our children about that. We ain't even talking about ain't nobody supposed to touch you. That you ain't supposed to be doing this. We ain't even doing that no more. What are we doing? The church used to be a strong institution for black African people, right? Specifically talking about Africans in America, and even in the Caribbean, right? The church used to be a strong institution. That was a place that we would go to, we had our church friends and we had our school friends. Everybody know that. We had our church friends and our school friends. Our church friends, we were cool as heck. On Sunday, Saturday, we would kick it, we would chill. Our school friends was our school friends. Church was a place for us to build morals, a place for us to build morals, a place for us to, connect and bond and do community things. That has fallen apart since a lot of us has fallen out of Christianity, and rightfully so. But if we're going to leave something behind, we also have to replace it with something. We have to replace it with something. We just can't take things away and not replace it with something. But I'm saying all that to say this. Keep a child in a child's place. I'm tired of seeing young girls with these long nails. I'm talking about long nails. They got a tattoo, right? And you know you're supposed to be 18 to get that tattoo in some states. I'm tired of seeing them with the long hair and they like, and you allowing them to dress any type of way. You get what I'm saying? And they got grown women purses. Like, that's not conducive to raising strong, healthy children. Okay? I'm tired of seeing these young boys with their pants sagging, their hair twisted up already. They walking around like, bruh, like, how old are you? How old are you? Remember, these are children. These are not women who have sons. These are not your boyfriends. These are not your ex-boyfriends or your baby daddies. Okay? Stop raising them to be the men who left you in the first place. All right? Raise them to be children. And women who have girls, right? Stop. These are not your best friends. Girl, sister, that's not what that is. That's a child. Men, same thing. That ain't your homeboy. That's your son. Stop trying to smoke weed with him and watch twerk videos with him. That's your son. Get it together. Until next time, think black, stay black, love black, support black, and that's real African black power.